The conversation surrounding Red Dead Redemption 3 has once again ignited following a recent viral moment on the Red Dead Redemption subreddit. The spark? An optimistic release window floated by some community members that suggests the game could arrive as early as 2026 or 2027. This projection, while hopeful, was quickly met with skepticism and criticism by a more cautious faction of the fanbase. The resulting debate has shone a light on a broader question that extends far beyond just a release date. How realistic is it to expect Rockstar Games to follow any consistent pattern when it comes to their blockbuster titles? A number of fans have attempted to anchor their predictions in Rockstar's historical development timelines. One widely shared theory points out that the writing for Red Dead Redemption 2 began not long after the release of the first Red Dead Redemption in 2010, just as work on Grand Theft Auto 5 reportedly kicked off shortly after the 2008 launch of GTA 4. If these precedents are to be believed, then development on RDR3 could plausibly have started in 2018 or 2019, making a release around 2026 to 2027 a feasible outcome. This assumption carries a certain internal logic. It fits a rhythm that seems to underlie Rockstar's creative process, at least at a glance. However, the problem with this optimistic framing is that it often overlooks the evolving complexity of game development, especially at the scale Rockstar operates. Since the release of RDR2 in 2018, the video game industry has entered a new era defined by higher development costs, longer production cycles, and more demanding player expectations. Rockstar, in particular, has doubled down on ultra-detailed world-building, cinematic storytelling, and unprecedented realism in its recent titles. These ambitions, while thrilling to fans, come at the cost of time and labor. Given this context, some fans have pushed back hard against the 2026 to 2027 window, arguing that a date closer to 2030 is far more plausible. Much of the backlash against the optimistic release window can be traced to frustrations with how Rockstar communicates, or more accurately, how it doesn't communicate its plans. The company is notoriously secretive, often going years without providing concrete updates. Fans still waiting for tangible news on Grand Theft Auto 6, despite a trailer drop and leaks, know all too well how drawn-out Rockstar's release pipelines can be. For many, it feels unrealistic to expect Red Dead Redemption 3 to emerge before GTA 6 even hits shelves and enjoys a full life cycle. Since GTA 6 is slated for a 2025 release, fans anticipating an RDR3 just a year or two later may be indulging in wishful thinking. Another key factor in the debate is the shifting internal priorities at Rockstar. Reports over the past few years have indicated a major culture shift within the company, prompted by backlash over crunch culture and labor exploitation during the development of RDR2. Rockstar leadership has stated that they are striving to create a healthier, more sustainable work environment. While this is undoubtedly good news from a labor ethics standpoint, it also suggests that future titles, including RDR3, could take longer to develop as teams operate under more reasonable timelines. Fans hoping for a quicker turnaround might need to reassess their expectations in light of this. Then there's the matter of what development even means in the Rockstar context. Some Reddit users have argued that while formal production on RDR3 might not have begun, it's likely that early concepting, world-building discussions, and narrative brainstorming are already underway. This makes sense. Rockstar tends to iterate quietly behind closed doors for years before making anything public. However, speculation about timelines based on these early phases can be misleading. A project in pre-production is still years away from launch, and the leap from scriptwriting to a polished open-world game is massive. What makes this debate so intense is that both sides are driven by passion for the series. Those who argue for an earlier release date are fueled by the hope of revisiting Rockstar's Western universe while they're still young enough to enjoy it without compromise. Meanwhile, those calling for patience often do so out of respect for the craft and realism that makes the Red Dead franchise so special in the first place. Both viewpoints are valid, and both reveal the deep emotional investment fans have in this fictional world. Ironically, the very lack of information from Rockstar is what keeps this debate evergreen. Because nothing has been confirmed, every theory, no matter how far-fetched or grounded, has space to thrive. In many ways, the release window war on Reddit is less about specific dates and more about negotiating hope, frustration, and expectation in the vacuum left by Rockstar's silence. Each speculative thread, each counterargument, is a manifestation of fans trying to make sense of a future they can't control but desperately care about. Ultimately, the truth about Red Dead Redemption 3's release window is that no one outside Rockstar really knows. The theories based on past game cycles offer a reasonable starting point, but they are not guarantees. The backlash against optimism is less about cynicism and more about measured realism in an industry that continues to evolve. As fans, the best we can do is appreciate the legacy Rockstar has built while remaining patient for what's next, whether that means 2026, 2027, or even 2035. In the meantime, discussions like those unfolding on Reddit serve a valuable purpose. They keep the community alive and engaged, offer a space to share memories and hopes, and maintain the cultural relevance of the franchise. While we wait for concrete news, this ongoing dialogue may be the closest thing we have to riding out into the sunset once more, if only in our minds.